All right, very good morning, guys. We will be looking at the concept of percentages right now. I'm going to be requesting all of you people to please introduce yourself. Deepak Sharma, very good morning to you too. Others, please make it a point to mention a simple good evening, good morning in the discussion forum so that I know of your presence here. All right, guys, very good morning and welcome to this session. Today, we are basically going to be looking at a very important area that is tested not just in arithmetic but also in data interpretation. That is the concept of percentages. The model of percentage is not very tough, but there are quite a few models which come in percentages. And what I will be basically doing in my class is show you how to do many of these questions mentally. Remember, when you're writing the test, it is important that you tend to do it as fast as possible because speed has to go along with accuracy. Now, before I start my session, I'm going to be talking about one very important concept of percentage. And then I'm going to be asking you to remember few numbers because at the end of the day, do not forget the fact that when you are solving the question paper, you will not get access to the calculator or to the computer. So let's commence something. I'm going to spend 2 minutes with a very basic, and then I'm going to be giving you some numbers for you to remember. What does 20% mean? 20% basically means 20 by 100. I can rewrite this as 1 by 5 and is equal to 0.2. Similarly, when I say 130%, what does 130% mean? 130% means 130 divided by 100. That is nothing but 13 by 10, which is equal to 1.3. Now this is known as percentage. These are known as fractions, and this is what is known as the decimal equivalent. So every percentage can be written as a fraction or can be written as a decimal. Now I am going to be giving you some numbers. I want you to remember that. Let's start looking at it. If I say 1 by 2, what is 1 by 2? 1 by 2 is nothing but 0.5 is equal to 50%. Now what is 1 by 4? 1 by 4 is nothing but half of it, therefore 25%. 1 by 8 is therefore half of it, that is 12.5%. And 1 by 16 is half of it, that is 6.25%. You should remember these numbers because quite often in the exam, he will ask you 6.25%. For example, if I were to ask you what is 6.25% of 800, you should immediately know 6.25% is 1 by 16. 1 by 16 of 800 is equal to 50. So if you can convert a percentage into fractions, you will always be much faster, and that is the reason why I'm asking you to remember these numbers. Now let's look at the other set. I have 1 by 3. What is 1 by 3? It is 33.33%. 1 by 6 will be half of that, that is 16.67%. And 1 by 12 will be half of that, that is going to be 8.33%. This is a very important number. Quite often you will come in questions 8.33%. Remember, 8.33% is nothing but 1 by 12. So this is also a number that you should remember. 1 by 5 is 20%. 1 by 10 is going to be half of that, 10%. 1 by 15 is going to be 1/3 of 20%, which is 6.66%. This is also an important number that you should remember. Whenever in the test you look at 6.66%, you should remember that is nothing but 1 by 15. 1 by 7 is equal to 14.28%. How do you remember this? 7 into 2 is equal to 14. 14 into 2 is equal to 28. That is how I ask my students to remember. So 1 by 7 is equal to 14.28%. 1 by 14 would be half of that, 7.14%. Now let's look at few more. 1 by 9 and 1 by 11 are very important. Again, these are numbers that keep repeating. 1 by 9 is series of 11, so 11.11%. 1 by 11 is series of 09, so 09.09%, which is nothing but 9.09%. Please make it a point to remember these elements. Now finally we have 1 by 13. 1 by 13 is equal to 7.69%. How do I remember this? 13 square is equal to 169, and that 1 you put a danda there, so this becomes 7.69. That is how I remember this. So remember the fact that 1 by 13 is 7.69%. Take a minute. I need you to remember this. Then I'll have a short quiz. I'll be giving you the percentage, and I'll ask you for the fraction, or I'll give you the fraction and ask for the percentage. You should be able to do it very fast. Now from here you should remember few more numbers. 3 by 8 is going to be 3 times that, so 37.5%, and 5 by 8 is equal to 62.5%. This is also a number that you should remember. Similarly, if I were to look at it, 2 by 9 would be equal to 22.22%. 4 by 9 is equal to 44.44%. Alright, 6 by 9 would be equal to 66.66%. 7 by 9 would be equal to 77.77%. So what happens? This is basically a table of 11. Similarly, if I were to look at this, 2 by 11 would be 18.18%. 3 by 11 is equal to 27.27%. So what is this? This is table of 9. These are numbers that you should remember. Take a minute, look at these numbers. If you have not understood any of these, please feel free to ask me. I will show you how knowing this will make your life much easier. Please type in yes if you have understood this table. This is a very important table, and remember, this will help you increase your speed immensely. Now, when we do talk about test, there are certain tests where computation becomes very important. So if you are looking for a job in banks, for example, you will notice the fact that RBI entrance examination, SBI entrance examination, all these examinations, they give numbers which are very dirty. But when we talk about company test, may that be for IT, may that be for core, may that be for MBA, they will not give dirty numbers because they are not looking at your speed of calculation, but they are looking at your understanding of numbers. So you should be comfortable in all these numbers. Do take 1 minute to quickly by heart these numbers, and then I'm going to have a short quiz. I'm going to be asking for the numbers while you will type in the answer for that. 1 by 2 is 100 by 2. 50% is nothing but 50 by 100. That is how I got 1 by 2. Now if I do divide this by 2, I'm dividing this by 2. It becomes 1 by 4. If I divide this by 2, it becomes 1 by 8. If I divide this by 2, it becomes 1 by 16. That is how I have divided this by 2. I have divided this by 2. I have divided this by 2. That is how I have come across the same. 1 by 3 is 33.33%. So 1 by 6 is half of that, 16.67%. 1 by 12, a very important number, is half of 16.67%, that is 8.33%. 1 by 5 is 20%. 1 by 10 is 10%. If I were to divide this by 3, I get 1 by 15. So 20 divided by 3 is 6.66, therefore 6.66%. 1 by 7, the way I need you to remember is 7 into 2 is 14. So 14 into 2 is 28. That is how you will remember 1 by 7 is 14.28%. 1 by 14 will be half of that, and that is how I get 7.14%. 1 by 9 and 1 by 11 are very important. 1 by 9 is table of 11, so 11.11%, and 1 by 11 is a table of 09, not 9, it is 09, so 09.09%. 1 by 13, the way I remember is 13 square is 169. Here you are going to put a danda on this, so it becomes 7.69%. Please type in yes if you have understood this table, and then let's have a short quiz so that there's a clarity that is developed on this. I'll show you how knowing these numbers will help you do things much faster. Please type in yes if you have understood this and take some time to seep in these numbers. These are amazingly beautiful numbers you should remember. Now, especially if you are a student coming from MBA background, do remember quite often you will be taking a lot of decisions when you are in a meeting without calculator. So you should know how to do it. Alright, I am going to have a short quiz now. I am going to be giving you certain fractions or percentages. You will write the equivalent of that. Tell me what is 1 by 3 as a percentage. How much is 1 by 3 as a percentage? Start typing in the answer. Let me see how fast you can recall. What is 1 by 3 as a percentage? Question number 1 for you. Question number 2 for you. What is 1 by 7? What is 1 by 7? Question number 2 for you is what is 1 by 7 in percentage? Try to recall the fraction 1 by 7 in percentage. 1 by 3 was the first question in percentages. Please, Vishal, see to it that you are putting percentage. Girish, put percentage always at the end, sweetheart. 1 by 3 is not equal to 33.33. It is 33.33 percentage. Second question I am asking you is what is 1 by 7? Third question I am asking you is what is 3 by 8? What is 3 by 8? Alright, how do you do 3 by 8? First you immediately in your mind you recall 1 by 8 and then you multiply by 3. What is 3 by 8 as a percentage? Try to recall that. Bhaskar, 1 by 7 is 14.28, sweetheart, not 0.14. You could have written that as 0.1428, not just 0.14. What is 3 by 8? 3 by 8, 1 by 8 is 12.5, so 3 by 8 is 37.5. Anirudh is the first one to get it right. Girish got it right. 3 by 8 is equal to 37.5. Next question, can you tell me what is 3 by 11? What is 3 by 11? How do you do 3 by 11? You remember what is 1 by 11. 1 by 11 is a table of 9. Now I am asking you 3 by 11. Table of 9 into 3. 9 into 3 is 27. So 3 by 11 is 27.27%. 3 by 11 is what I am asking you. Remember 1 by 11 into 3 is what is 3 by 11. 1 by 11 follows a table of 9. So 9 into 3 is 27. So 3 by 11 is 27.27%. Anirudh is the first one to get it. Girish got it. Sigdar got it. Amulin got it. Rakshita got it. Fantastic, sweethearts. Now I have one more question for you. Can you please tell me what is 2 by 9? How much is 2 by 9? What is 2 by 9? Now what happens in 2 by 9? You immediately recall 1 by 9 is a table of 11. So 2 by 9 has to be 11 into 2, that is 22. So my answer has to be 22.22%. That is how you will remember it. A very important table where you are converting percentage into fractions. This will help you do things much faster. Please remember how to do this and do it fast. Girish, 2 by 9 is equal to 22.22. 1 by 9 is equal to 11.11. I asked, yes, you are right. You corrected it. It is 22.22. Now, why am I telling you this? Because quite often such dirty numbers will come. In a question, if he says 14.28%, you should know it is basically 1/7 of what it is. Alright. So this is concept number 1 for the day. This is concept number 1 for the day. Now I am going to concept number 2. I am talking about percentage and I am going to talk about percentage change. Both are not the same. Both are not the same. Let us say my salary, all right, salary in the year 2020 was rupees 20,000. And then in 2020 to 2021, salary increases by 20%. He is asking you what is salary in 2021. Please don't use pen and paper right now. I don't want the answer. I want you to understand the method I am using. That is what is more important here. Now, this is, notice the fact that old year, what is the early year? Early year or the old year is 2020, new year is 2021. So you are drawing a arrow. This is year 2020 while this is year 2021. Now in the year 2020 my salary is 20,000 rupees. So you are writing this as 20,000 rupees. Now he says it increases by 20%. What does increase by 20% mean? This is where I am going to talk about the concept of multiplying factor. I am talking about the factor of multiplying factor. If he says 20%, multiplying factor is 0.2. If he says 20% increases by 20%, multiplying factor is 1 plus 20%, that is nothing but 1.2. Similarly, the word increase, he need not use the word increase. He can say more. More means same as increase. Alright, more also means same as increase. So any word he uses there, more, increase, goes up by, these are all same words. Then multiplying factor is 1.2. Now can you please tell me, if I say 30% more, what is the multiplying factor? Type in when I say, what is the multiplying factor if I say 30% more? What is the multiplying factor if I say 30% more? What is the multiplying factor if I say 100% more? What is the multiplying factor if I say 10% more? Please type in the answer. What is the multiplying factor? 3 questions I am asking you. 30% more. So more is being used. So it is 1 plus 30%. What is 1 plus 30%? 1.3. 100% more. 1 plus 100%. Therefore it is 2. 10% more. 1 plus 10%. Therefore it is 1.1. So answer should have been 1.3, 2 and 1.1. Alright. 1.3, Pratik, it becomes 2, sweetheart. 1 plus 100%, therefore it becomes 2. Similarly, now I am asking you what is the multiplying factor? 30% less reduces by 30%. What is the multiplying factor? Falls by 20%. What is the multiplying factor? In this case, what will happen? 30% less. Here it was more, so you put plus. Here you will put minus. 1 minus 30%, that is equal to 0.7. Reduces is the same, 1 minus 30%, therefore it is 0.7. False is the same as reduced, 1 minus 20%, therefore multiplying factor is 0.8. So multiplying factor is 0.8. So whenever he uses the word more, increase, goes up by, then you will add it. Whenever he uses less, reduces, falls, etc., then you will subtract it. Let's do a few more because this is important. Tell me what is the multiplying factor. What is the multiplying factor if I say first question, second question, third question, fourth question, fifth question? 50% increases by 20%, falls by 20%, reduces by 30%, all right, remains. All right, tell me for all this what will be the multiplying factor. 4 questions. Type in what is the multiplying factor for 50%. Now when he uses the word 50%, he does not use the word more, he does not use the word less, so it will be 0.5. Increases would be 1 plus 20%, so that is equal to 1.2. Falls by 20% is 1 minus 20%, therefore it will be 0.8. Reduces by 30% is 1 minus 30%, therefore it will be 0.7. Please type in yes if you have understood these values. Notice in the first one he does not say 50% more. Alright. Had he said 50% more, what would have happened instead? 50% more. 50% more would have been 1 plus 50%. That would be 1.5. Sixth one, if he says 50% less, what is 50% less? 50% less is 1 minus 50%. Therefore, it's equal to 0.5. These are known as multiplying factor. You should understand this concept because this is very important to do questions mentally. Today, I will be teaching you how to do questions mentally. Okay. Now, I could have written this also as 20% is what? 20% is 1 by 5. So, I could have written this as 1 plus 1 by 5. This is nothing but 6 by 5. This could have been written as 1 minus 1 by 5. That is equal to 4 by 5. This is nothing but 1 minus 3 by 10 because 30% is 3 by 10. So, this is 7 by 10. This can be written as 1 plus half. Therefore, equal to 3 by 2. Alright. So, here I am using it in fractions. Here I am using it in decimals. And here of course I am using it in percentages. Guys, I have a request. My business is not to teach you how to solve questions by 10th class method. If I teach you that method, you will understand it, but you will be slow. My business is to teach you trick methods. So please don't give up. And if you have not understood anything, don't hesitate asking me. Alright. Have you understood this so far? Please type in yes if you have understood this. Please type in yes if you have understood this. These are known as multiplying factors. Now I am going to teach you reverse. Alright. So far from percentage to multiplying factor. Now from multiplying factor to percentages. I am giving you a multiplying factor of 1.2. Multiplying factor of 1.2. What can you do? This is nothing but 1 plus 20%. So you can say this basically means increases by 20%. Or you can also say this is nothing but 1.2, which is nothing but 120%. So you can therefore say 120%. So you can either say that increases by 20% or you can say 120%. Similarly, let's look at 0.7. 0.7 can be written as 1 minus 30%. So I can say this as reduces by 30%, or this can be written as 70%. So I can say 70%. Two ways of saying it. So for 70% also multiplying factor is 0.7. For reduces by 30% is also multiplying factor is 0.7. So there are two ways of looking at it. Depending on what is he asking, I need to choose, because sometimes he will say what percentage is it. Sometimes he will say by what does it reduce. So you need to read the question and then notice, but notice the fact that both of them are same. Similarly, both of these are same. Now let's try to see where I will be using this. Let's try to see where I will be using this. All right. Let us say I take a rectangle. I take a rectangle. What is the area of the rectangle? Area of the rectangle is given by length into breadth. Area of the rectangle is given by length into breadth. Now I say length increases by 20%, and I say breadth increases by 10%, and I say area increases by dash. All right. length increases by 20%, breadth increases by 10%, area increases by what? All of you drop your pens. These are questions that you should have done mentally. Now I know area is equal to length into breadth. So what happens here? I can convert this into multiplying factor formula. Multiplying factor of area is equal to multiplying factor of length into multiplying factor of breadth. Now what is the multiplying factor of length? Multiplying factor of length is equal to 1.2. Why 1.2? Increases by 20% is 1 plus 20%. What is the multiplying factor of breadth? Multiplying factor of breadth is equal to 1.1. Why 1.1? Increases by 10%, so 1 plus 10%. So multiplying factor of length is 1.2, multiplying factor of breadth is 1.1, 1.2 into 1.1 is 1.32. So multiplying factor of area is equal to 1.32. What does it mean? It means area increases by 32%. Area increases by 32%. Did you understand what I did? Whatever is the formula, I converted that into a multiplying factor formula, and then I equated the expressions to get my answer. The moment I got multiplying factor is 1.32, this can be written as 1 plus 32%. Therefore, I am saying it increases by 32%. Now I am going to change this question. Please tell me what is the answer. Length decreases by 20%, breadth increases by 10%. Now tell me what is the area by. What happens to the area? Length decreases by 20%. So if length decreases by 20%, what will be the multiplying factor? Multiplying factor of length would be equal to 1 minus 20%, that is nothing but 0.8. Breadth increases by 10%, so multiplying factor of breadth will be same as 1 plus 10%, that is 1.1. So if I were to look at multiplying factor of area, I am using this formula, is therefore equal to multiplying factor of length, that is 0.8, multiplying factor of breadth, that is 1.1, that is equal to 0.88. What does it mean? This can be written as 1 minus 0.12. This is nothing but 1 minus 12%. So I can say area reduces by 12%. I can say area reduces by 12%. Girish, answer has to be 22% is wrong, sweetheart. So reduces by 22%. Now there is, what am I saying? What does this mean? Multiplying factor is 1.2. What does it mean? It means initially if the length is 100, now it is 120. So multiplying factor is 1.2. So multiplying factor compares the old to the new. Old into multiplying factor will give me the new. That is what it means, all right? Which brings me to a very important point that you need to understand. What is a multiplying factor of a constant? What is a multiplying factor of a constant? Let me give an example of pi. Now, if old value of pi is pi, new value is also pi. So what is the multiplying factor? Multiplying factor has to be 1, because remember, this into this will give me this. So the multiplying factor of a constant, multiplying factor of any constant is equal to 1. This is a very important thing that you need to understand and remember. All right. For example, if 2000 remains as 2000, multiplying factor is 1. If 2000 becomes 2200, that means multiplying factor is 1.1. Why is it 1.1? Because 2000 into 1.1 will give me 2200. This is old value, this is the new value. So whenever I ask you what is, now I am asking you a question, what is the multiplying factor of a pi? Second question, what is the multiplying factor of 2? 2 is also a constant, therefore 1. Now I ask you, what is the multiplying factor of pi by 2? Now multiplying factor of pi by 2 is multiplying factor of pi divided by multiplying factor of 2. Multiplying factor of pi is 1. Multiplying factor of 2 is 1. So it is 1. So the moment you see any constant here, alright, this is also a constant, you can directly say therefore multiplying factor has to be equal to 1. Multiplying factor has to be equal to 1. Girish, nothing can be learnt in one day here. I'll show you how to solve it. Let's try to do this. Let's try to do one question here. Let us look at a cylinder. Alright, I'm making a cylinder. Now in cylinder, this is the radius and this is the height. This is the radius and this is the height. Now I say radius increases by 10% and I say height increases by 10% and I ask you volume changes by what? I am asking you this question. All of you drop your pens and have a look at it. Radius increases by 10%, height increases by 10%, volume change by what? Now what is volume of a cylinder? Pi by 2 pi r square h is the volume of a cylinder. This is the volume of a cylinder. Now if I write in multiplying factor of volume is multiplying factor of pi into multiplying factor of r the whole square into multiplying factor of height. Now I would have done all this mentally, alright. Now pi is constant, multiplying factor is 1. What is the multiplying factor of radius? Multiplying factor of radius is equal to 1.1. Multiplying factor of height is equal to 1.1. So this becomes 1.1 the whole square into 1.1. That is nothing but 1.1 the whole cube. That is nothing but 1.331. So multiplying factor of volume is equal to 1.331. What does it mean? It means volume increases by 33.1%. Rikshit, pi r h is the surface area. In fact, 2 pi r h is the surface area. We are talking about volume. Volume is equal to pi r square into h. Pi r square is this area. Alright, circle into the height will give you the volume. So the formula of volume is pi r square h, and therefore my answer is 33.1% increase. 33.1% increase. This can actually be done mentally, and that is what you should look for. Let's do one more. Let me see who can do this. I take a square. This is a square. Alright, this is a square. And this is the diagonal. This is the diagonal. Now I am saying side of a square. Side of a square reduces by 20%. Diagonal changes by dash. Now tell me what is the answer for dash. Use the same logic I have used. This is very powerful method which will help you do things faster. Use the same logic I have given. You should know using Pythagoras theorem what is the formula of a diagonal and then solve it. Now what is the diagonal? Now if this is side is s, Pythagoras theorem says diagonal has to be root 2s. So diagonal is equal to root 2s. So multiplying factor of a diagonal is equal to multiplying factor of root 2 into multiplying factor of s. S being the side. Now multiplying factor of root 2 is 1 because root 2 is a constant. Remember, root 2 is a constant and multiplying factor of any constant is 1. Multiplying factor of side reduces by 20%. So 1 minus 20%, that is nothing but 0.8. So multiplying factor of side is 0.8. Therefore multiplying factor of diagonal is equal to 0.8, which means diagonal reduces by 20%. Please type in yes if you have understood what I have done. Please type in yes if you have understood what I have done. If you have not understood this concept, ask me. If you have understood this concept, please type in yes. It reduces. Pathak used to say it should reduces by 20%, not just 20%. This model is a model that comes amazingly important in multiple ways. Now I'm going to show you one more thing. I am showing you one more thing. All right, understand this. Understand this. I'm going to use this model in time, speed, and distance. What is the formula that connects time, speed, and distance? Distance is equal to speed into time. Alright, distance is equal to speed into time. This is a classic formula. Bhaskar, you're asking me the basic, sweethearts. In a square, what happens? Diagonal is this. In a square, if this is S, this is S, this is 90 degrees. Pythagoras theorem says hypotenuse has to be root of S square plus S square. That is equal to root of 2S square. That is equal to root 2S. This is what diagonal is. These are formulae that you should remember, sweethearts. Alright, so I'm going to be showing you how questions come in the test which use the same concept. I'm giving you an example. Remember this example. Let's talk about it. Speed is equal to distance by time, therefore distance is equal to speed into time. Now one fine day, every day I go from my office to my residence. Every day I go from office to my residence. One day when I am going home, there's a band that is there. Therefore I am able to go. 30% faster. Therefore I am able to go 30% faster. Alright, did you understand my story? Every day I go home for lunch from my office. One day when I am going home, I notice the fact that there's a band, therefore I am able to go 30% faster. My question is very simple. Will I reach home early or will I reach home late? Will I be reaching home faster or will I reach home slower? Now what is the case here? This is my office. This is my home. Every day I go. So the distance is therefore constant. Which means multiplying factor of distance is equal to 1. One day I am going 30% faster. So multiplying factor of speed is equal to 1 plus 30%. Therefore that is equal to 1.3. He is asking me the time. What will happen to the time? Obviously time will be lesser and I'll reach early. Let's put this equation. What does this equation therefore tell me? Multiplying factor of distance is equal to multiplying factor of speed into multiplying factor of time. Now multiplying factor of distance is 1. Is equal to multiplying factor of speed is 1.3 into multiplying factor of time. Therefore multiplying factor of time is equal to 1 by 1.3. That is nothing but 10 by 13. Alright. Now multiplying factor of time is equal to 10 by 13. Now 10 by 13 can be written as 1 minus 3 by 13. It can be written as 1 minus 3 by 13. So what does it mean? It means time reduces by 3 by 13. Alright, time reduces by 3 by 13. What is 1 by 13? 1 by 13 I told you is 7.69%. Let's approximate it to 7.7%. So 3 by 13 would be equal to what? It will be equal to 21 plus 2.1%, that is 23.1%. My time goes down by 23.1%. My time goes down by 23.1%. I'm going to go again. This is a tough question, but don't give up. Alright, these are the type of questions that will come in the exam. Notice what I am doing. First, I know the formula, distance is equal to speed into time. every day I cover the same distance. So every day the distance is the same. So the distance becomes constant for me. Therefore, I know multiplying factor of distance has to be 1. And I am saying that one day I am going 30% faster. So multiplying factor of speed is 1.3. Then I am substituting in this formula using multiplying factor. Multiplying factor of distance is 1, multiplying factor of speed is 1.3 into multiplying factor of time. So multiplying factor of time, this will come down, becomes 1 by 1.3. 1 by 1.3 can be written as 10 by 13. 10 by 13 can be written as 1 minus 3 by 13. Therefore, I know time goes down. Why down? Because this is negative. Negative means down. Time reduces by 3 by 13. Now, I need to know how much is 3 by 13. What is 1 by 13? 1 by 13 is equal to 7.69% that we approximate. So, 3 by 13 would be equal to 3 into 7 plus 3 into 0.7. I am breaking this into 7 plus 0.7. 3 into 7 is 21. 3 into 0.7 is 2.1, and that is how I got this. This is how I did my calculation. This is how I did my calculation. It reduces by 23.1%. Tell me, have you understood this calculation? Look at how I calculated the dirty number, 23.1%. 1 by 13, I remember, is 7.69%, which I approximated to 7.7%. 7.7%, I broke it to 7 plus 0.7. Then I am multiplying this by 3, so I have to multiply the right hand side by 3. 7 into 3 is what I did. 7 into 0.7 is what I did. And then, of course, I added it up. Please type in yes if you understood this side also. Don't give up in my class. These are very powerful methods. I will show you how to solve questions using these methods. You can do this mentally also. The concept of percentage is very, very important. You will find questions coming in percentages. We need to know how to solve it. Alright, let's take one more question in time, speed and distance. What is the formula? Distance is equal to speed into time. Distance is equal to speed into time. So far I was talking about distance is the same. Why? Because I was always going from my home to my office. Now let's look at the other way around. One evening I like driving. I love driving. Alright, I'm crazy about driving. One evening, every evening I go for a drive. Every evening I go for a drive. But one evening what happens is, I see the road is empty, so I go 20% faster. I'm going 20% faster for 10% more time. 20% faster and 10% more time. Alright? Will I cover more distance or will I cover less distance? Understand my question. Every day I drive. Alright? But I'm not talking about fixed distance this time. I'm driving, just driving. One fine day, I go 20% faster for 10% more time. Will I go more or will I go less? Will my distance be more or will my distance be less? And second question, if more, by what percent? If less, by what percent? Try to do it mentally. Every day I drive. I like driving. One fine day, I increase my speed by 20% and I travel for 10% more. Will my distance be more or less? So what is mentally, how will I do it? Speed by 20%, so 1.2. Time by 10%, so 1.1. So this is nothing but 1.32. Therefore, multiplying factor of distance is 1.32. Therefore, distance goes up by 32%. So distance goes up by 32%. You can do it mentally because speed goes up by 20%, time goes up by 10%. Therefore, my multiplying factor is 1.2 into 1.1. So immediately I can say I can cover more distance. I will, Surojit, the distance will be more, sweetheart. Speed is more, time is more. So obviously distance would be more. And the distance would be more by 32%. I am going to ask you one more question. Now try to do it without pen and paper. I am going on a drive. Alright. I am going on a drive. I increase my speed by 10%. I increase my speed by 10%, but I go for 10% less time. So my speed increases by 10%, but time reduces by 10%. My speed increases by 10%, my time reduces by 10%. My question is very simple. Will I go for more distance or will I travel less distance? More, how much more? Less, how much less? Try to do it mentally and type in the answer. My speed increases by 10%, my time reduces by 10%. Speed increases by 10%, time reduces by 10%. Now what will happen? Now distance is equal to speed into time. Speed increases by 10%, 1.1. Time reduces by 10%, 0.9. So what is 1.1 into 0.9? 0.99. What is 0.99? 0.99 is less than 1. So distance will come down. How much does it come down? I can write this as 1 minus 0.01. That is nothing but 1 minus 1%. So the distance comes down by 1%. Distance reduces by 1%. Rishabh, sweetheart, it is 1%, my dear. Bhaskar, 1%. 0.99 is 1 minus 1%, not 1 minus 10%. Understand these concepts. These are very powerful concepts if you can do it mentally. Preeta, it is 10, not 10%, sweetheart. 0.99 is 1 minus 1%, not 1 minus 10%. 0.9 is 1 minus 10%. 0.99 is 1 minus 1%. Once again, please type in yes if you have understood this concept. Please type in yes if you have understood this concept. These are methods which can be done very fast if you understand it. Alright, now I am going to complicate this a little bit. Alright, now I am going to complicate a little bit. Every day I go home for lunch. Alright, I go home for lunch and I take 60 minutes to go. 60 minutes to go. Every day I take 60 minutes to go. Now one day I increase the speed by 20%. Alright, how much time will I take? How much time will I take now? Understand this question. See how this question is one level higher than the previous question. All of you understand the question. Every day I go home for lunch. Alright, which obviously means the home distance is the same. Every day I am covering the same distance. So my distance is constant. That you should understand. Every day I go home for lunch. I take 60 minutes to go. One day I increase the speed by 20% and I am asking you how much time will I take to go home. So what do I do here? Distance is equal to speed into time. Distance multiplying factor of distance is equal to multiplying factor of speed into multiplying factor of time. What is the multiplying factor of distance? 1. What is the multiplying factor of speed? Speed increases by 20%. So 1 plus 20%, which is nothing but 1 plus 1 by 5. That is nothing but 6 by 5. So multiplying factor is 6 by 5. So multiplying factor of time is this. Now what happens? So multiplying factor of time is equal to 5 by 6. 5 by 6 can be written as 1 minus 1 by 6. Which means what? That means time reduces by 1 by 6. Time reduces by 1 by 6. Alright. What does it mean? Previously I used to take 60 minutes. Now I will save. So save. This is saving. This is a saving. Saving is equal to 1 by 6th of 60 minutes. That is nothing but 10 minutes. Therefore, I reach home in 50 minutes. I reach home in 50 minutes. What does it mean? Previously, I used to take 60 minutes. My multiplying factor is 5 by 6. So I write 5 by 6. So new time is equal to 60 into 5 by 6. That is nothing but 50 minutes. That is nothing but 50 minutes. Notice how I am doing it. I am again repeating. He has given me the time. Originally, I take 60 minutes time. He has given me that. All right. All right, but I find the multiplying factor of time. Multiplying factor of time is 5 by 6. Remember I told you, whenever you are drawing a thing, old will come here. Old is 60 minutes. Multiplying factor we calculated is 5 by 6, so I put 5 by 6. So new time is equal to this into this, which becomes 50 minutes. So if he asks me how much time, answer is 15 minutes. If he asks me what is saving, saving is equal to 10 minutes. Saving is equal to 10 minutes. Please type in yes if you have understood this. I can take 1.2. You remember 1.2 is same as 6 by 5. I like fractions. Fraction is always easier to calculate, because if I take 1.2, then I need to find then 1 by 1.2. If instead of that, if I take 1 by 5, this will give me a fraction 6 by 5. 6 by 5 is same as 1.2. So whether you do fraction or whether you do decimal, answer will not change. 1.2 and 6 by 5 are the same. It's easier to use fraction, and that is why I taught you fraction. Remember when I gave you these numbers, why did I give you these numbers? Because this will help you convert to fraction very fast. That is the advantage of fractions. You need to know how to use fractions well. Alright, let's take a break for a minute, just have a look at what we have done so far, and then let's proceed. Alright, I am going to ask you one more question. Now this is known as successive percentage change. Successive percentage change. What does the word successive mean? One after another. Successive means one after another. For example, let us say my salary increases by 20%. My salary increases by 20%, all right, increases by 20% in 1 year. Next year it increases by 10%. Next year it increases by 10%. So I'll put plus. He is asking overall, what is the increase? Understand the question. My salary increases by 10% in the first year, 20% in the first year, then it increases 10%. He is asking what is the overall change. Now what I will do is I will write it in multiplying factor. Increases by 20%, so multiplying factor is 1.2. Increases by 10%, so multiplying factor is 1.1. Now what is the overall? Overall is equal to, now this is brackets I have written. Bracket means multiply. Overall is therefore equal to how much? Overall is 1.2 into 1.1. Multiply the two. Multiplying factor will be multiplied. That is nothing but 1.32. Therefore, overall multiplying factor increases from to 32%. Overall, it increases to 32%. Understand once again, what am I doing? First year, my salary increases by 20%, so I have written multiplying factor of 1.2. Second year, my salary increases by 10%, I am writing multiplying factor of 1.1. Which means if the old salary was 100, the new salary at the end of the first year would be 100 into 1.2. That is 120. This salary would be equal to this into this. So this would be 120 into 1.1. That is 132. So if you notice, what is the overall change? 100 has become 132, which is nothing but multiplying factor of 1.32, which is nothing but 32% increase. Which is nothing but 32% increase. So when I use the word successive, what does successive mean? One after another. So first hundreds became 120, then 120 became 132. That is what is successive mean. Let's do one more. Tell me what will be the case. First year salary increases by 10%. Second year it reduces by 10%. Negative. What is the overall change? Overall change. How will I do it? First year it increases by 10%, so multiplying factor is 1.1. Second year it reduces by 10%, multiplying factor is 0.9. So overall is equal to 1.1 into 0.9. That is equal to 0.99. What does 0.99 means? It means reduces by 1%. Type in yes if you have understood this. Have you understood this, sweetheart? Successive change is only one after another. Successive change is only one after another. I give you one more question. Do this question. First year it increases by 20%. Second year it reduces by 20%. Now tell me what is the overall. Immediately try to do it mentally. How will you do it? Increases by 20%, 1.2. Reduces by 20%, 0.8. Now 1.2 into 0.8 is 9.6. Alright. So 0.96. What does 0.96 means? It means reduction of 4%. It means reduction of 4%. Decrease of 4%, fall of 4%, reduction of 4%, any word you can use, 4% less, but yes, answer is reduction of 4%. Okay, now I am going to ask you a puzzle question. Try to do it mentally. Don't use pen and paper. Try to do it mentally, alright? Because of COVID, I am locked inside the house. Because of COVID, I am locked inside the house. So last year, I could not exercise. My weight increased by 25%. Last year, I could not exercise. My weight increased by 25%. This year, I make a promise to myself, I'll go back to the original weight. I will go back to the original weight. My question is very simple. If I want to go back to the original weight, by how much should my weight change this year? Understand the question completely. Because of COVID, I could not exercise and my weight increased by 25%. This year, I make a promise that I will go back to my original weight. Alright? By what percentage should my weight change so that I go back to my original weight? Let's see who can do this mentally. Who can do this mentally? What am I saying? Previously, if the weight was W, this year my weight has increased by 25%. What should I do? How much should I do so that my weight goes to my original? This is the question I am asking. Last year, because was COVID, I could not exercise. My weight went up by 25%. What is that I should do to see to it that my weight goes back to the original? So what is the case here? What is the multiplying factor? 1.25, which can be written as how much? Which can be written as 5 by 4. Because 1 plus 25% is equal to 1 plus 1 by 4. So that can be written 5 by 4. Now next he is asking what should be the change so that overall my weight remains constant. This means weight remains constant. If the weight remains constant, that means overall it should become 1. Multiplying factor should be 1. So 5 by 4 into multiplying factor is equal to 1. So multiplying factor has to be equal to 4 by 5. 4 by 5 is 20% reduction. So all of you who have written 20% reduction, you should not write 20% change. You should write 20% less. Pathak is right. Others, remember, don't just write 20%. Say 20% lesser. It should reduce by 20%. Why? Because my weight is becoming the same as original, and that is the reason I am writing 20%. I am broadcasting a question in ICQ. Please solve it. I am broadcasting few questions in ICQ. Please try to solve it, my dear. If you have not understood any of this, please make it a point to ask me. These are the type of questions that you will get. If you can understand the concept of multiplying factor, then you will be able to do things very fast. Solve the question that has been given in ICQ. I have asked you what is the multiplying factor of pi by root 2. What is the multiplying factor of pi by root 2? Look at it very carefully. Pi is a constant, root 2 is a constant, so pi by root 2 is a constant, and I told you multiplying factor of any constant is 1, and therefore answer has to be 1. I am giving you one more question. Try to do it mentally. I am giving you one more question. Try to do it mentally. Try to do the next question mentally and then mark the answer. Length of a rectangle increases by 25%. Length of a rectangle increases by 25%. By what percentage should the breadth decrease so that area remains constant? So what is the case here? Length, area is equal to length into breadth. Area remains constant, so multiplying factor has to be 1. Length increases by 25%, that is nothing but 5 by 4. So breadth, multiplying factor of breadth is equal to 4 by 5. That means reduces by 20%. My answer should be reduces by 20%. Guys, don't give this up. These are questions that can be done mentally. You will find many questions of this nature appearing, and that is why it is important that you learn how to do these fast. I am firing you one more question. Please try to solve this. I am firing one more question. Please try to solve this. Length of a rectangle increases by 25%. Now area is equal to length into breadth. So length increases by 25%, so 5 by 4. Breadth increases by 10%. So how much is that? 11 by 10. Alright, otherwise I can write this as 1.25 into 1.1. How much is that? That is equal to 1.375. So I can therefore say increases by 37.5%. So answer should be increases by 37.5%. Guys, don't give up. These are all actual questions which have come in the past. You need to be careful. Many of you people have made mistake in this question. Be careful. I am firing one more question. Solve the next question. Ravi's salary was reduced by 25%. This is successive. Reduced by 25%. So minus 25%. What should be the increase to bring it to the original value? What should be the increase? So let's say this is multiplying factor. Overall original value, that means multiplying factor has to be 1. What is the multiplying factor of this? This is 3 by 4. Alright, multiplying factor is 3 by 4. So 3 by 4 into multiplying factor should be equal to 1. So multiplying factor has to be equal to 4 by 3. 4 by 3 is 1 by 1 by 3. So it has to be increased by 33.33%. How did I reach 3 by 4? Reduction 1 minus 1 by 4. Alright, therefore that is equal to 3 by 4. How did I reach 1 by 4? Because 1 by 4 is 0.25 minus 25. So 25% reduction means 1 minus 25%. That is nothing but 1 minus 1 by 4. That is nothing but 3 by 4. If anyone has not understood any of these, please make it a point to ask me. Swaroop, in the earlier question I said I want the weight to become same as earlier. Alright. What was my question? Why did I keep weight as constant? What was my question? Because of the COVID time, I did not exercise, my weight increased. But what should be the change so that it goes back to the earlier? I want it to go back to the earlier. That means over the whole period, my weight should, if it was 50 kgs earlier, now also I want 50 kgs. It was 60 kgs earlier, now also I want 60 kgs. So the number should not change. That's what I'm saying. That is the reason why I kept it as constant. Please type in yes if you have been able to solve the question so far. Any question that you have not been able to solve, don't hesitate asking me. I'm again repeating, these are questions that can be done mentally. You have to learn how to do things fast. You should learn how to do things without paper if you can. Please type in yes if you have understood so far. These are the type of questions that you will get, and the beauty is once you've understood it, you will be able to do these quite fast. You don't need to take too much time. I'm giving you one more question of a similar kind but a different model. Try to solve it. I'm giving you a similar question of the same model but of a different structure. Try to solve it. Now, what is the combination between, what is the formula between sales? What is the thing between sales, revenue, and price? What does sales mean? Sales means number of units sold. What does revenue mean? Money made. So what is the relationship? Obviously, revenue is equal to sales into price. Revenue is equal to sale into price. Now, what is he saying? On decreasing the price of washing machine by 30%. That means price comes down by 30%, which means multiplying factor is equal to how much? 0.7. That is nothing but 7 by 10. Then he is saying sales increased by 20%. So multiplying factor of sales increased by 20%. That is 1 plus 1 by 5. That is nothing but 6 by 5. So he is asking what is the change in revenue. So what is the multiplying factor of revenue? Multiplying factor of revenue is equal to multiplying factor of sales into multiplying factor of price. Sales is 6 by 5. Price is 7 by 10. So multiplying factor of revenue is 6 into 7 is 42. 42 by 50. That is equal to 0.84. Therefore, revenue has come down by 16% because this can be written as 1 minus 16%. Therefore, revenue has come down by 16%. Revenue has come down by 16%. If you have not understood this, please ask me to repeat this. Look at the model. This is very similar to distance is equal to speed into time, but here the formula is different. Formula is revenue is equal to sales into price. Now these formulas will not be given in the question. You should know this. Sales is nothing but number of units sold. Price is price. Revenue is the money you make. Obviously, therefore, price of a commodity into number of units you sell will be equal to the money you make. So revenue is equal to sale into price. And then I have used the same model going forward. I have not done anything different there. So these are the things that you need to be comfortable with. Let's now solve one more question. This is an extremely important question, and then we will see this. Guys, let's quickly have a look at it. Have you not understood? Is there any area which you have not understood? Please let me know. The concept of percentages is extremely important. I'm again repeating, do a little of practice. They will tend to complicating it a little bit by adding a little bit here and there, but these are not tough. Please type in yes if you have understood the whole thing. If you want me to repeat any model, ask me to repeat it. We will do that. Any question you want me to repeat it, please feel free to ask me. Run through it. These are models that you will come across in the concept of percentages, and you need to be comfortable with that concept. All right, now let me take the next 5-10 minutes talking about something very important. All of you people who are engineers, do remember the fact that engineers and MCA students who are looking for a job in IT company, remember the fact that Wipro has already declared that it will start conducting the recruitment process in the month of July. So you need to see to it that you are practicing as much as possible, build the speed. Please see to it that you are doing the daily task list that is being coming in the Condira Online platform religiously. Do remember, Condira Online platform is artificial intelligence driven, which means as you go on writing the test and as you go on doing the exercises, the system will understand you and then start giving you tasks which is different from the task that it's giving your friends. So every task that you do it seriously, because that will allow the system to understand your strength and your weakness. Now, for people who are looking for jobs in the field of IT, coding is also a very important necessity. Practice coding. Now, students who are coming from MBA background, do remember, if you are looking for a job in MBA, you don't need coding, but arithmetic, verbal, etc. is very, very important. Now, Surojit is asking about a case. Probably I will take a case study in general sometime later, but cases become very important for MBAs. Do remember, MBA students, you will probably have group discussion also. So you should see to it that you are how to participate in group discussion. Probably I'll take one session on that as well, with case and group discussion. Quite often these days, many of these companies, what they are doing is they are giving a case study as a group discussion. Now, if you as engineers or MCAs, you are looking for government jobs, you are looking for PSU jobs, many of these companies also have group discussions. And even remotely today they are doing group discussion. So even in the online side they are doing group discussion. So you should be comfortable building that up. People who are from MBA, please see to it that you are quickly refreshing your concepts in management. You are speaking in English, because fluency in English is very, very important, especially if you are ambitious enough to look for bigger companies. And finally, of course, aptitude does become important, so please see to it that you are investing in this. Now, Bhaskar is asking, is GD important for IT jobs? In IT, you need to remember, few of these companies are asking you to write GD as essays. So they are not asking you to communicate, they are asking you to write. But yes, few companies on the higher end, they do have group discussion as well. So you are not actually only writing TCS, Wipros and Infosys, you are going to be writing many other tests too. Quite a few companies have essay writing. So you need to write the essay, and that is calculated to understand your writing skills. Few other companies do have group discussion too. So you should learn how to speak, express yourself, because in today's world, communication is very important. I know the fact that all of you are quite fluent in Hindi. But do remember, at the end of the day, the way I keep saying, give the market what the market wants, and what the market wants is English. And that is why I keep telling my students, see to it that you're communicating as much as possible in English. The ability to express fluently and confidently will be a big advantage. Rishabh is asking, is Wipro asking for a percentage criteria? All the big companies, service companies will ask for percentage criteria. The reason is simply this. In big service companies, many college students participate, so they get too many people applying for it. So they have to have some method of screening it up. So percentage will always be asked by Wipro. Not just that, they will also put limit on the number of active backlogs you will have, or the number of years of breaks that you might have during your education. So Wipro has still not declared the exact eligibility. But do remember, Wipro is going to recruit in two ways. One is the All India test that we talk about, which is what is called as the Wipro Elite. The second is by going to the campuses. Now, when they do go to the campuses, depending on which campus it is, which college it is, they will change the eligibility criteria. So that is something that we still have to wait for. But don't worry too much about the minimum percentages, etc. There are many companies which will not bother about the percentages. Now, if you are very good at coding and you are able to do well in the coding challenges, companies will not bother about your percentages. So that is something that you need to remember. Most of the companies which come for IT will ask for first class of engineering, which basically means 60% or 65% depending on what is the definition of first class in your university. TCS, Wipros, Infosys, all of them will have percentage criteria, sweetheart. That is something that cannot be avoided. As I said, these are bulk recruiting companies. So obviously they have to screen the students using some rules. But when we talk about startups normally don't worry about percentages, etc. They only look at the talent. So if you are smart, if you are good, and of course you are really good in coding, then percentage really does not matter. I am sure you are aware of the fact that today there are many companies which say if you are very good, I don't even care if you are not a graduate. All right. So, but those are for those people who are really brilliant in the technology side. My suggestion is if your percentage is low, don't worry too much about it. Companies will continue to come which basically will not have percentage criteria, but the big companies like the TCS, the Wipro, the Infosys, sweethearts, they will have percentages. All right. See to it that you are practicing as much as possible. See to it that you are exposing yourself to more question types. You will notice the fact that there are different question types, but the concept of multiplying factor remains the same. Please push yourself. If you are weak in the English side, spend some time solving questions on grammar, build vocabulary a little bit. We just need to fight for the next 1 or 2 months. Put the whole energy that you can, get yourself a job, and do remember what I keep saying, the day you get your first job is going to be the best of your life. All right. You do have a second session today. The second session is 11:15. Take a break, refresh yourself, relax for some time, and you will be joining at 11:15. The next session is going to be taken by Verma. He is a gentleman. He's a mechanical engineer. He is an MBA from SP Jain. He actually worked with ISRO, that is Indian Space Research Organization in Bangalore. He will be basically taking another session on quant simply because practice is something that you need to do. Guys, thank you so much. Take a break and then you log off and then log on again. Take a break. Thank you so much.